Good morning, everyone. Today's demo is called Adventures in Texturization. I know it's not a word, but it sounded fun. Anyways, it turns out that when you put texture in your reduction glass, then you reduce it and encase it, you can get these really cool effects. So I want to share with you my little adventures in texturization. Let's do it. Okay, our glass for today, I'm going to use double helix iris because that's what I've been playing with lately, and it gives some really cool effects. You get a whole bunch of different colors when you reduce it. And then I just have some double helix zephyr to play with, to encase it with. So we'll be using that. Also, to put our texture in our glass. So this is welcome to the next episode of When Engineers Get Bored. They go to Lowe's and they decide to paint their hallways. So I'm walking through the paint department and I found this thing for $5. I think it's a roller or a brush cleaner. You hang it on the side of your big giant 5-gallon paint cans, and then when you stick your roller in, you just clean it off on this. And I looked at it and I thought, okay, it's aluminum, it's got some cool diamond shapes in it. I wonder if I can use this to texture my bead. So I'm playing with it, and you guys get to play with me. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk to you guys today about is a happy little accident that happened to me when I was trying to use my broken torch. Now, if you'll remember, on this torch, I plugged up one of the ports with glass. And so what happened was the propane that was coming out of that torch, or out of that port, was reduced. And the oxygen was increased, which means I had part of my flame here was a neutral flame and part of it was a reduction flame. And I was like, no big deal. I'm just going to use it. I don't care. And so I was playing around with reduction glass with this goofy flame. And I was finding that I could really target and pinpoint and spot reduce areas of my bead with just this one little reduction flame. So I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. You can really control where you put the reduction on your bead. So I'm going to try to do that again with my new torch. We won't plug up any ports to do it, but I want to try to play around a little bit with spot reductions and just reducing certain portions of my bead. Okay, here we go with my goofy little setup here. I went ahead and I made a barrel bead of just that zephyr clear, and then I put the iris on top of it, and I've got my little barrel here, and now I'm just heating up this iris, and I'm going to roll it on my paint roller. And I can't talk and roll at the same time, so here we go. Down, roll. And there we go. I got some little diamonds on it. Oh, I don't know if you can see them or not. Let's see, I get some light on it. But there you go. You got some ridges. Now, one of the things I haven't really decided yet, am I going to press the diamonds in or am I going to roll the diamonds in? And again, it's all about playing with your new tools. I usually roll and make the big diamond, and then I go back in, and in the middle of those big diamonds I press right at the intersection, and then I get a whole bunch of little baby diamonds. And they're not perfect, but none of us are. Okay, so now I'm just going to heat it up, kind of a reset. And if you have to, because I have OCD, you can always go in and kind of clean up that design. Press in your little ridges where you think you need ridges. I am not adverse, you know. Painters go in all the time and they clean up little areas that they think they want to make look nicer. So again, Don't be afraid to use your tools. Make what looks pretty to you. I do also want those ridges to be kind of deep because I am notorious for melting out my ridges when I go to do my encasing. So if I see ridges that are kind of shallow, I'll go in and press them a little deeper. I'm really trying to maintain that diamond pattern. Oh, I'm a goofball. Okay, now let's reduce. So I'm going to cool my bead off, and while it's cooling, I'm going to make myself a nice little reduction flame. Now, the reduction flame, if you will recall, is adding propane and getting that nice, pointy, sharp cone. It's about, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 inches long. And then once your bead, put it under the table, make sure that it is cool. And then I go in and I just do the first reduction, just like so. Wow, that reduced fast too. And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can try to get something going here. But it is reducing. I do have some really cool colors starting, some purples. I think I'm gonna have to turn this torch way down so you guys can see the reductions. There's some purples, some greens going on. Oh my God, this iris is crazy. Now to do the spot reductions, what happened on my broken torch is I just spot reduced like the raised portion of the designs, and I looked for areas that were sticking way up. And I just went and I touched those areas on the tippy tip of that pointed candle. And that's how you can get some very specific reductions in very specific areas. And this only seems to work with the reduction flame, with the pointy candles, because if you try to do it with a brush flame, it's just too brushy and you end up reducing like the entire bead. Oh my God, the purples coming out of this thing are gorgeous. Oh, purples and blues and greens. Gosh, you guys got to try this iris out. This double helix iris is just magical. So that's it. I have my bead underneath the flame, and I'm spot reducing by lifting my bead up and just putting certain portions of it in that pointy part of the candle. Oh, I think that looks awesome. I don't know if you can see those purples in there. Oh, let's see, light maybe? Light, let me turn off my torch. And now I can't see. Come on, little guy. Focus, focus. If I get just the right glare on it, you guys can see those blues and those purples and the greens. Okay, time to encase. Okay, so one of the things that I'm really struggling with on encasing is bubbles. And what I found is, especially stuff that has a lot of ridges, I always get bubbles in the ridges. I don't press the glass down hard enough to really fill up those ridges. So I've started taking just a clear stringer, and I know this is a pain in the butt, but it's worth it. And I just go through and fill up my ridges with that clear stringer. So I find a ridge, I get a gather, I push my stringer into that ridge, and that helps me avoid bubble issues. Now, I don't always get all of the ridges, but I get a lot of them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill these up, and this is boring, and I don't want to bore my customers, so I'll be right back. Okay, once I got my ridges filled, I go back and I do another reduction. There's nothing that says that you guys can only reduce it like once or 3 times, or initially, and I found that, you know, in the process of encasing the bead, sometimes you lose that luster, and so I'll go back in and just re-luster. And the thing here that's kind of cool is that all of the raised parts are still exposed, but the ridges aren't. So if I lost some luster in those ridges, that's okay. Let's see. I think that looks cool. Okay, back to our neutral flame. And now I grab my rod of Zephyr, and I'm going to encase this puppy, and I'm going to encase it, and then I'm going to roll it into a round bead out with my roller here. So I'll be back. This is the boring part. Let me just start here so we can review encasing silver glass. Remember that you want to not have your clear glass so hot that you erase your luster. So I'm going to go ahead and just do spot encasing. Try to find those areas where there's no ridges. I'll probably do like first a spot encasing and then go back and do like a wraparound encasing. We'll see how the encasing comes out when I start to roll it. Anyways, here I am, just getting my glob of clear glass. Get a glob, let it cool a bit, stick it in those holes where you see them. And I am pushing it down a little bit so that I don't get any bubbles. Ugh, bubbles, the bane of my existence. There we go. Okay guys, let me play around with this. I'll be back. Okay, not the greatest looking bead because I really lost a lot of my diamond pattern, but still cool, I think. And you can see how those little triangles and how you've got these little hills and valleys of the bead where you had your texture going on, and then you've got the variation in reduction. Some of it's light, some of it's dark. This is still a cool bead. I still like it, even though it's not like a perfect pattern. Yeah, I think it's fun. I'd wear it. Okay, so what are the kinds of tools that you can use to add texture to your beads? And these are from CG Beads, and they're just little texture plates that you guys can get. One of the things that I look for that I like about these is the relief in these is very deep. And so I really like a deep relief. And a relief is just the area between the raised part and the valleys in here. So you want to kind of have a really deep area in here. I'm notorious, as you just saw, for melting out all of my relief when I do my encasing. So I look for presses now that have really deep reliefs. So here's two of the presses. And then, of course, we have these that we all have seen before, just little textury plates that you get from your glass supplier. And these are great. These make great little holes, but you kind of have to press down to get that relief. So those are fun. I also got this little frog from Michael's. It's in the floral department, and you use it for flower arrangement, but it has all these little holes and pokies in it, and I'm excited to use this and see what kind of relief I get. And then of course you have the good old X-Acto knife, dental tools that you can cut designs in. So let me come back and show you some of the different texturing that I did on my beads. So these are two examples of using my X-Acto knife. I went ahead and I made a base bead, and then I put a curly Q on it, and then I just went around. Took a long time, and I just went around the coils here, and I just cut in my little ridges. And then I took a clear stringer. After I cut the ridges in, I reduced the glass. I think this one is Triton and this is Kronos. I reduced them, and then I put the clear around just on the top, and I went back through and I did more ridges. So that was a lot of fun. But the beads came out great. I love this one especially. Ooh, that Chronos. I think the Chronos is going to be my favorite blue. Okay, what else do I got? Oh, so here's another one I did with the diamonds, and I think this is also Chronos. And I just have a lot of practicing to do to get that that diamond pattern to remain. So still playing, still having fun. Not gonna worry about whether my beads are ugly or not. And then this bead, I wanted to show you guys. This is Arky. And what I did here is once I put the Arky on the base bead, I just took my clear stringer and I went in and I did those little spirals where you twist the stringer and you make those raised spirals. And so I just went all around the bead, making the raised spirals just like that. And then I reduced it and then I encased it. And this one is great. It's got all these little swirls, and that Arky, it just looks like little turbulent pools of water going around those little spirals. So try that too. Basically, any way that you can texture your bead, give it a shot and see what you come up with. Okay, thanks guys. This was fun. I'm excited for all of you. Let's go play with some hot glass. Have a great day. I'll be back soon. Bye. Okay guys, here is my super boring copyright notice. Basically, the video is copyright protected. So if you would like to show this to someone, just send me an email. If Maria, I want to show your video in my glass group or maybe at show and tell at school, just send me an email. I'm pretty generous with my copyright. I'm sure it'll be fine. The bead in this video is also copyright protected. However, I hereby give you permission to make this bead for yourself, and I give you permission to make this bead as a gift for your friends and family. And I also give you permission and blessings and thanks if you want to make beads for a charity. The only thing I ask is that you don't sell any of my beads because I'm selling my beads. Now, that being said, if you want to sell your beads, like say 5 beads at my church bazaar, send me an email and we can work something out. If you want to sell a dozen beads at your local craft show, send me an email, we'll work something out. If you want to sell 80 million beads on Amazon, oh my God, send me an email and we can talk about royalties and the millions of dollars we're going to make selling beads. Anyways, guys, get a hold of me. I'm really generous with my copyright. I'm not here to make any money. So yeah, talk to me. Don't be scared. It'll be all right. Take care. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.